this wonderful team and making sure that you all get these resources, right? Because that's what we're for. We're here to serve you. And I'm very happy to host and present these slides with this wonderful team as well. And I'll pass it to Angelica.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I just want to congratulate you here just for making it on this Wednesday to hear more about our Pathways program and just to get a couple more tips of like how to manage your time. And I'm also a third year here at Cal State LA, and I've been working with the Pathways program office since my freshman year. So it's been an exciting journey, and I'm just really happy for you to be here today. And then I'll pass it on to Elizabeth.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth, but my preferred name is Elisa. I've been in the Pathways as my fourth year, so it's also been my fourth year with us. Just, because Europe has been has helped me in so many ways. It just means like giving back. So yeah, that's my little story, and I'll pass it on to Alexis.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Hey, everyone. I'm Alexis, and I also graduated in 2021 spring. So yeah, I'm happy. Sorry, I was eating. I'm happy to serve everyone and to give you guys a lot of resources. So I think, do I pass it to Wendy?
We actually have another member of our team. He won't be presenting today, but he's here to offer support. And when we have our Q&A, he can offer things that he's learned being working with Pathways. And Hector, if you will go ahead and introduce yourself and give us a little background.
Hey, yeah, I'm Hector, and I just recently joined Pathways. Oh, I think I froze up.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I just recently joined the Pathways program this summer. And I could already notice that Gear Up and Pathways are really, they do a lot of work together. I've already worked with them on 2 occasions, I believe. So yeah, and what I've noticed is that like Pathways is just here to offer the resources that you guys need to be successful.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hector. And so with that being said, we know how difficult, we are still very much in a transition and integration piece when it comes to virtual and in person. And, we don't have to state the obvious because we're all living it. So some of our workshops are probably going to be a mixed attendance because I know our students are figuring it out. And sometimes they have in-person classes and their faculty are changing times and changing it to online. And while we're all going through this transition, I just wanted to note that time management is extremely important because you don't want to get lost in the shuffle with all of that going on. So I think this workshop is extremely on time. And with no further ado, I want to pass it on to Mario so we can get the workshop started. Just so you know, the meeting has started the recording process. Viviana, if you have questions, please put them in the chat, or anybody for that matter, go ahead and put them in the chat. Thank you.
All right, awesome. So now you're going to, our topic will be managing your time. So ask yourself first, have you used an agenda book in the past or using it now, or any time management skill that you have used, right? It's pretty important that you want to make sure you want to have your time divided, right, throughout your day, since we only have 24 hours in one day. But today we're going to explain more about why is it important to us. But first we have to know what is time management, first of all. It is basically the process of organizing and planning your time between activities throughout the day and the future, such as completing tasks and achieving your personal goals. So by that, during a time of a day, you have tasks, you have priorities that you can manage, right? From the most important ones to the least important ones. So it's very important that in this deck, you're going to also learn about 2 different techniques of how you can manage your time. But it's basically how you are managing your assignments, for example, when you're at school or when you're at work, right? What are the priorities that your boss or yourself has throughout your workday? Why is it important? Why do we need time management in our lifestyle? It allows you to accomplish tasks in a shorter period of time. And that is true in my experience. Since I graduated in May of 2020, I have actually achieved my goal, right? Which is complete college and finish it on time. I actually did it in 5 years, but I use my time management pretty wisely because during my time at Cal State LA, I was a student and I had so many assignments piled up. I had almost 6 classes at once at a semester, and it definitely helps a lot. It reduces stress. I felt that I reduced my stress. My anxiety went down when I realized that I had to prioritize my tasks and my assignments. We also learn from them and we develop it over time as a routine, right? It becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle that you will use it probably when you graduate from Cal State LA or when you start working, right, in your future career. It boosts your confidence, right? That means that you can tackle workload, right? If you can tackle a pile of assignments that you have with deadlines and you can tackle them one at a time. And it also balances for school, work, and with friends and family, right? Remember, when you finish your deadlines, when you finish your assignments on time, right, or in advance in a timely manner, you'll have that rest of your time, right, to have fun, have leisure time, right, with your friends and family, right, or whoever your loved ones are. Effects of bad time management. Now, the first thing on the list is procrastination. I understand what procrastination is. I've had it. You probably had it too. Procrastination is basically your lack of motivation goes down. You're not prioritizing your task and you stop doing it. You stop practicing your time management skills, right? You don't have control over it. You don't have control over the time anymore. And tasks, assignments, workload sits there and you're finished at the last minute. And there's less productivity too, not being able to balance workload of class assignments. And notice that you will see, right, in your lifestyle is a drastic change in your grades and exams. And perhaps you have deadlines coming up at work and you still need to finish them and you're doing it at the last minute. And your motivation decreases as well. So that's also a big factor of the effect of having bad time management. You also want to set your goals, right? Goals reduce your workload, right? When you prioritize and set a goal, right, you stay focused on the task in a timely manner, as I mentioned. You want to always prioritize your activities, right? From the most important to the least important, right? More urgent to less urgent. You want to outline all the time what you want to achieve, when to achieve, right? And also goals, setting them all the time allows you to measure your progress, right? Throughout your time at Cal State LA, you'll be perhaps using your time management skills, right? And perhaps here, one of these two methods here, you'll check your progress of how you used it, right? Until you graduate, right? You finishing your homework on time, that's also part of a goal that you want to have and achieve, right? In a week, perhaps, or perhaps in the future. So tips to managing your time. Now, please look at this image because here are about 7 tips that how you can manage your time now. So one of them is set goals correctly. You want to prioritize wisely always. Set a time limit. How much time do you need, right, for this assignment? How much time do you need for this workload that you have? You want to take breaks between tasks. Mental health is really important, right? You want to make sure you want to take a break, 5 to 10 minute break each time. Organize yourself, right? Organize your tasks. Remove non-essential tasks, right? You have your priorities. Move away the social media for a bit. I understand we all use it all the time. Move away Twitter, move away Instagram. It's pretty important that you want to set your time and focus, right, on your priority. And also plan ahead, right, in the future. Perhaps you have a syllabus that you need to complete, that you have, right, from your professor. You want to complete that, right? How are you going to do that? First, you want to set your time management skills and complete your goal that you want to accomplish, right? You want to have a good grade in the class. You want to plan ahead. and prioritize. So now I'll pass it to Angelica, who she will explain one of the two techniques that we will study here in this slide. Take it away, Angelica.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the techniques for time management is using the SMART method. So with the SMART method, it was developed by Professor Robert Rubin from State Louis University. And the SMART divides your priorities into 5 categories. So the first one being specific, second, measurable, attainable, relevance, and then time-based. And with the SMART method, you can separate your goals, use time productivity, and help complete your achievements. All right, so be specific. The first step in achieving time management is to have a specific goal that you want to accomplish by using these 5 W's for your next task. So who is involved? What do I want to accomplish? When is this due? Where is this goal located? And why is this goal important? Is it measurable? Every goal needs to be measurable in order to track your progress. And if it's not measurable, you will not be able to determine if you are closer in achieving your goal. And assessing progress helps you stay focused and meet your deadlines and feel the excitement of getting closer to achieving your goal. And then some questions you could ask yourself is, how will I know when I have achieved my goal? And what is my indicator of progress? All right. And then, is it attainable? So your goal must be achievable. When you accomplish your goal, you may be able to identify overlooked opportunities or resources that can bring you closer to it. So remember to ask yourself, how can I accomplish this goal? Or what resources can I use in order to achieve this goal? And then, is it relevant? Some goals might not be relevant to what you are trying to achieve. When you are setting a goal, ask yourself these questions. Is it a significant goal to you, or can it be discarded easily? You know, sometimes we do have some goals that maybe we could like wait on, or is it really something that you want to work on and achieve on? And what does the goal mean to you, and how will it affect you personally? And an example could be that many students' goal is to graduate college, but why is it that it's important to you? Everybody has their own reasons to why graduating college is important. So just make sure to have that mindset in order to achieve your goal and make it more achievable. And is it time-bound? A time-bound goal is intended to establish urgency and prevent goals from being overtaken day-by-day crisis that may arise. So if the goal is not time constrained, there will be no sense of urgency and motivation to achieve the goal. So make sure to know that keep note of the deadline and how much time that you want to spend on that goal, because it just keeps you more motivated to continue finishing that goal and how you want to achieve it. And then by using the SMART method, there are many different modifications that students have come to use when using SMART, by somehow change the S from specific to significant, or the R from relevant to realistic. So it's just different to your own character and how you want to take this technique. And this technique can be used for personal development, projects, or even for work. Okay, so now I'm going to move it on to our next speaker, Alexis, who will speak to you about another technique when managing your time.
Thank you. So now I'm going to talk about the Eisenhower Matrix. So it's also known as the urgent through important matrix. So the squares are divided into 4 sections. Sorry, my computer is doing something. As it organizes priorities from the urgency and importance to least importance, but not urgent. So as you can see, the first quadrant would be like important, urgent. The second would be important, not urgent. And then the third one would be not important, but urgent. And then the fourth and last one would be not important and not urgent. Next slide, please. So the first quadrant, which is important and urgent, are important tasks that are urgent and should be prioritized above other activities. These can include homework assignments, and especially if they're approaching their deadline, conflicts that need to be dealt with right away, clocking into your workspace. Next slide. Thanks. So 2 is important but not urgent. So these tasks are important but not urgent. Therefore, they can be planned for a later time, such as postponing your class assignments ahead of time, scheduling a date for a study group for an exam approaching, and then making decisions which homework assignments can be finished this week. Next slide, please. So the urgent but not important are tasks that are urgent to do right away, but are not important. Examples of these are phone calls. So it could be maybe confirming an appointment for medical checkups, asking a tutor at a tutoring center to help you on a challenging assignment, doing chores around the home. And then next slide, please. So these are things that will not offer you any, the fourth one is not important and not urgent. So they're things that will not offer you any benefits and could be wasting your time. So some examples are like social media. So instead of studying for an exam, getting distracted to an irrelevant subject during class time, and then eliminate activities that do not have measurable, I can't say that word, value to your goals. And then next slide, please. So this is an example that I'm going to pass to Elizabeth.
So I did it kind of my own for the Eisenhower Matrix. I did the on the left, I mean, is important to not important to the sides, and it's just examples of like, what is it that it's important to me right now? My test. I could get my pedicure on another day. It's not important. It's not urgent, and so on. So that's how I categorize it, and also put it in post-it notes. So like, if you, I'm a person that like every week changes. So our important deadlines get varied. So you could just change it out, or you could do it with other post-its and just say, okay, to do, not to do, and so on. Next slide, please. So you could also create your own matrix chart. If this works for you, the urgent important matrix can be customized to your tasks or assignments that you have currently or in the future, and can help you with your own personal life as well as such. Filing taxes are urgent and important. Exercising is important but not urgent. As long as you are able to organize your priorities, you will be able to manage your time efficiently. Next slide. So this is just an example because one of my our staff member crew wasn't here, but he doesn't do the SMART technique nor the Eisenhower. And what works best for him is an agenda. And since he's a bio major, there's all the listings or class schedule. That's how he prioritizes his time, and just strategically just do what's best for him. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, time management is a vital skill that brings you benefits to your lifestyle. And just to summarize, what we went through was the SMART method, the Eisenhower, and an example of how I use the Eisenhower, and as well as the agenda if that does not work for you. This also increases your productivity to complete various activities, reducing stress. Managing your time can boost confidence and learn from them. And you can enjoy your free time once your priorities are achieved. That being said, do what works best for you. And is the SMART method and Eisenhower methods work for you? They can, they might not. And that summarizes and wraps up our presentation. Next slide, please. Any questions? We are here to help you. We have our office is located at the Biological Science Building, room 124, and our contact info is right there. We also host virtual office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 to 4 p.m. Yeah, any questions?
Very good. Viviana, I believe you're our only Gear Up student on, and you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't feel comfortable. But if you have questions, you can unmute your mic or you can just type them in the chat. If you don't have any questions for us at this time, could you at least click on the link that I just provided in the chat? That is our workshop survey. And there's a couple of questions on there about just things that we wanted to hear from you about. So that's another way that you can also respond. I have a question just because I know this is still being recorded, but to the group who just presented, and Hector, you can jump in as well. How do you know when your quadrant 4, if you're looking at something that is non-important and non-urgent? So that normally is like when you're just mindlessly playing video games, when you have all this other stuff that you have to do. But sometimes that mindless playing the video game is okay, I think. So what's the main difference between, you know, doing things that are recreational and when they become a distraction versus something that's good? Does anybody have, how do you differentiate when going on social media is something that's okay versus when it's a distraction?
I think to answer your question, Wendy, depending on how much you use your social media, right? Depending how much time you are consuming when you play video games. In my experience, when I'm on social media, I do take pretty long time sometimes. There are days that we all procrastinate and I do my best to focus, right? But when I use my social media accounts for more than 5 minutes, for example, it becomes a habit. And from there, I have to learn how to cut that out, right? And come back to my priority, come back to my task. When I play video games, it also applies similarly. You don't want to spend over 5 minutes at least. Perhaps in my experience, I've used my social media and I play video games during my breaks, right? Every time I have a 5 to 10 minute break during an assignment, during a workload, I go on my social media for a bit, or I play on my phone a video game. I play Mario Kart. So I like spending a couple of minutes there. And then I look at the time, and now when 5 minutes are up, then I just need to go back and refocus, right, on my tasks.
Good, I like that. That's an awesome answer. Hector, I know that you had turned your camera on. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I would similar like Mario, I would differentiate like, or I would classify scrolling or playing video games as like harmful to my time when I knowingly do when I'm knowingly spending my time playing video games and I know that I have an assignment due the same day of, or I have to go to class, or I should be doing something else. So it's like you just have to keep in mind, okay, it's gonna feel a lot better to get your assignments out of the way and then be able to truly play on like me personally, like Mario, like I also play Mario Kart. I have a Nintendo Switch, it's pretty fun. And I would like to spend as much time as I can on that, but I can only do that once I have all my assignments like for the week cleared out.
Really good. Excellent. Excellent. This may or may not be time management so much, but I'm going to throw it out anyway. Does anybody find that managing their time or being more organized helps if they pair up with like a study buddy? Like if you, like in your classes, because this isn't like high school. For those of you who this is your first or second year, you may still be getting used, especially if it's your first year, you may be still getting used to the fact that you don't have the same faces in all of your classes every time. Yeah, having someone to study with helps a lot. Okay, awesome, Viviana. Okay, cool. So you both can, or however the team is, however many people, you can kind of keep one another on point, you know, call, text, things like that. Very good. Excellent. Well, that concludes our presentation, and I'm happy that we were able to keep it nice and short and sweet and powerful, because when we put this out there for other folks to watch later, you know, it won't be just rambling on. It's all very important content. Thank you so much, Alexis. I give all of you presenters a huge, huge round of applause. And to you future Gear Up students, or any of our pathway students that are going to watch this, we look forward to hearing your feedback as well. Viviana, make sure that you do that link for us, the Google form, so that we know what other types of topics you would like to hear covered in this workshop series for our Gear Up first years. Are there any other takeaways or questions before we close this out from anyone? No? Okay, excellent. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. That concludes our presentation. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.